now is probably one of the most amazing episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. And I think one of the reasons why this episode just clicked the way it did is because it felt like the finale, even though by the end we kind of found that it kind of wasn't, with Yuri and Yuya. Now, last week, and even with the preview, it kind of gave you the sense of belief of that Yuri is in control and Yuya is probably going to lose or give up, and there's going to be turn of ZARC. But no, it turns out they threw a curveball in this episode, and they've done this before previously when it came to like the duel between Yuri and Yugo. It kind of made you believe, and the same thing with Yusho and Yuri. So there's kind of a pattern going on there. So when Yuri finally got that L, it made it seem a lot more epic. Now I do have something to question. It's like I thought that Yuri being taken down would actually reverse the effects of everybody being carded. Turns out that's not the case. So I think the reason why it works now is because we've still got a long way to go. And if you're not aware, at Jump Festa this past weekend there was an announcement of a new Yu-Gi-Oh series that starts in April. So there's still like 3 or 4 months left of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 to get through. So assuming this is going to be like the final arc of the series, then there's still a little bit to go. However, that being said, that does not change the fact the way they played this episode off. It felt like a finale because, for one thing, we had like the rest of the Lancers we haven't seen in like several episodes. For instance, we see Edo, we see Sora, and then we see Kaito, and then we see Kurosaki looking for the Duel Academy, looking for Yuya. And the first thing I noticed is like when Kurosaki bumps into Kaito, the first thing he asks is where is Yuya? You'd think he'd be a little bit more concerned about his sister, Ruri, but it turns out no. They're coming together the Lancers, and that's something I've appreciated about the series more than anything. It's the coming together of certain individuals with one goal, that's to save the world. In Yuya's case, that's kind of his main topic, main motivation in this episode. However, the way it starts off with, and I have to give credit with Yuri's, I guess, characterization throughout the entire episode, because it went from super menacing to super relaxed at the end. It's like it was relieved. So that was kind of weird, but the way it starts off with Yuri in control, obviously he had possession of the 3 dragons, obviously from Yugo, Yuto, and himself. So obviously that put Yuri in a tough spot because obviously he was struggling to keep ZARC at bay. And that was pretty much the theme of last week's episode. It's pretty much the theme of this episode. And with that, it kind of made me feel like, okay, Yuri's going to take an L. Because Yuri's kind of forcing the issue of surrender. Could make yourself easy on yourself and don't make this any harder. But it's like Yuri's like not going to surrender, which is something every protagonist does in Yu-Gi-Oh. So and then you have Reira, you have Reiji, and you have Sora, and then you have Edo pretty much spectating the duel as well. So they're concerned for Yuya. You have Akbar Leo. So now he does mention something very interesting. It's like the completion can't, the revival of Ray can't be completed. The 4 dimensions cannot turn into Arc 5 until the 4 Pacific cards are pretty much absorbed. And I'm assuming he's referring to the 4 Dragon cards. But that's going to be a problem now, since by the end they've pretty much become one. So, and I didn't even see super polarization there. So a lot of people thought that Yuri was going to be the one to unite all the clones with revive ZARC. Turns out that's not the case at all. But I like how the episode threw that curveball in. Now, even though Yuri and Yu they continue the duel, Yuya still tried to use action cards. That didn't work. Every time he tried, Yuri had a counter for it. He had a counter action card for it, actually, to prevent him from using any action cards. And then the second time he actually had to negate send Smile World to the graveyard, and because of that, Yuya had a mental breakdown in between the duel, because obviously the Smile World and the mental was down. And I like it because it was after that Akaba Reiji kind of like motivated Yuya by saying, don't duel in your dad's way, duel in your own way, which is as soon as he said that, I kind of I thought that Jack Atlas might show up because that's the exact same thing that Jack told Yuya back at the tournament, if you remember. So that was cool. But then he also said, you have your own way of dueling, you have pendulum summon, and that was pretty much the turnaround of the duel. Yuya said, okay, I've got to get back in the game. He busts out Ice Pendulum Dragon. Then he did something that I did not expect. He gained possession, he kind of regained possession of the Dark Rebellion Dragon, and then he gained possession of the Synchro Dragon, which means now he had influence over Yugo and Yuto, so that was cool. And after that, the tide of the duel was turning. Yuya ends up taking the win at the end, and Yuri's reaction is like, I expected him to be a little bit more pissed off the fact that he's actually never lost a duel. In fact, if you go back to what he was saying to Alexis, that everybody wants nothing to do with me because I always win my duels. So now that he's lost, he kind of feels like it's easy. It's like, and then he says to Yuya, "Go ahead and absorb me." And and a couple of rage, he says no. Yuya's not going to do that. But then the curveball is thrown, and then you see the face darken of Yuya, and then his expression changes. Like, oh shit! It completely reminded me of Marek, the way he would react to certain things when he turned out to be demented. So, and then he pretty much united all four dragons. So the return of the Supreme Dragon is in the works by the end of the episode, and I have to say, 10 out of 10 easy episode. And even throughout the duel, there was like kind of sent up away from Earth, I guess, through the duel. So that was kind of weird. I guess because of the merger of each of the dimensions. So obviously it caused a ripple effect throughout the time. But it doesn't even matter because by the end, Yuya, I guess Zarc sends the Lancers back to the Duel Academy. So then they're faced off with the Supreme Dragon. Now, this is a reason why I like this, because now that Yuya's out of the picture, it means that Lancers have to find a way to deal with it without him. So now without the protagonist, each of the girls have been absorbed, so Rei has to make an appearance soon, because now there's 4 cards has become 1. Unless the Akira Leo was referred to 4 other cards, then I don't see how Rei can make an appearance. She may make an appearance by the end of next week's episode, but next week's kind of like, by the time it comes out, it'll probably be Christmas Day, so we'll have to wait and see. But that being said, what do you think of the episode? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you did, appreciate that. Comment, subscribe. Catch you guys later.